Hello.
Hi.
And where are we today?
We're at the Intuit Dome for the Los Angeles Sports Council's conference on innovation.
And can you introduce yourself?
My name is Stephen Cheung. I'm the CEO and president of the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, as well as the World Trade Center Los Angeles.
Okay, so I just heard about your panel, and I loved the enthusiasm that you had for all of the events that were happening in the Los Angeles area. And I do like to say that I think that Los Angeles is the sports capital as well, number one city. And you mentioned one of the biggest things what was the economic impact of the sports industry in Los Angeles?
Well, we've been doing an economic impact report for now 4 years. So this is our fourth report with the LA Sports Council. This year, we found that in 2024, the LA region, including Los Angeles and Orange County, the sports entertainment sector contributed over $12.1 billion to our local region because of this one sector alone.
Okay, and so you also mentioned the growth,
Yeah,
and you specifically into jobs,
yeah,
and labor is very important.
yes.
Can you emphasize that?
Yeah, well, for the Los Angeles region, as we're going through demographic changes, as we're going through a lot of challenges with the economy, we need to make sure that we have good jobs for the future. And this particular sector is creating a lot of great paying jobs and very diverse types of jobs as well. In the report, we found that there are about 93,000 jobs that are supported by this industry alone. That's the size of a city. So for one single industry to be able to support all these amazing jobs, they range right from anywhere to basically managing and operating facilities like the Intuit Dome, to marketing, to digital technology that's going to be tracking the movement of tourists and visitors and interaction. That's the power of this entire sector of job creation.
You also talked about Japan, and you were there
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, and you were talking about foreign direct investment, but also sports tourism.
Yeah.
What's the advantage of having a successful professional sports team?
Well, and many professional sports teams here in Los Angeles, right? We have 12 professional sports teams. If one of them do well, the world will start paying attention to this. And for us, the Dodgers have been that shining beacon example with Otani's really astronomical rise that we expected. What we're seeing is that the international attention is being paid to this region, and it's demonstrating through their investments as well as the tourism that you mentioned. So last week I was in Japan with a delegation from California to attract foreign direct investment. The LADC and the World Trade Center Los Angeles, we actually create an annual report specifically looking at the foreign direct investment impact into the local region. Japan is California's number two foreign direct investor. And in fact, Japan is Los Angeles County's number one investor when it comes to the number of firms, the number of jobs created. And the reason why we're going to Japan is because the former prime minister has promised to basically invest over $500 billion in the US over the next few years. That's a lot of opportunity. So we want to make sure we grab it and make sure they come to Los Angeles and they invest here. So this is where the sports team becomes so important, because Ohtani, because of Yamamoto, because of Sasaki, because of the Dodgers, is now attracting attention of Japanese visitors that might not know much about Los Angeles before. Most folks internationally, they think of Los Angeles, they think of entertainment industry, they think of beaches, they think of traffic, but they don't know about various sectors. But now that they're paying attention to Ohtani, they're looking at Los Angeles completely differently. Our information has now revealed that in 2023 to 2024, there was an increase of 91% when it comes to visitors coming from Japan. 91% increase from Japan when it comes to visitors coming to Los Angeles. And of those visitors, 85% of them actually went to 2 or more Dodger games.
That's like
So
more than a lot of people just,
locally.
yeah, local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they're coming here, they're not only going to Dodger games, but they're also buying Dodger dogs. They're buying the army chiladas. They're buying the jerseys. They're going to the local community, like Little Tokyo, to basically shop and buy different things, right? So combined together, this is economic development 101. They're spending a lot of money here. And then additionally, some of these are, these folks that are visitors are not just visitors, right? They're also investors. So if you look at the Dodger Stadium right now, look at all the advertising that's happening. If you see Toyo tires, if you see all these different folks, they were never there before. So now it's creating new opportunities.
So you mentioned Shohei Ohtani and his impact on LA. What about other international players that come into Los Angeles? And we've been seeing this, right? And soccer and other sports.
Yeah. Well, with the LA Football Club, with our new player coming in, we have to recognize that because Los Angeles is such a magnet for international collaboration and cooperation. We are also the home to some of the largest diasporas around the world. We have, for example, the largest Filipino population outside of the Philippines, the largest Armenian population outside of Armenia, and of course, we are the sixth or seventh largest Korean city in the world, which makes us the largest Korean city outside Korea. So when you have an international superstar that's coming in with Korean background, then you now have this entire base behind it that basically will drive the interest in that football club, in that sports team. So that's the type of attention that we can get. We've seen it multiple times with various different players. And that's the beauty about Los Angeles, is because we are so diverse in so many different ways, not only when it comes to our industries. So whether it's bioscience, aerospace, defense, sports, entertainment, we have them all here. At the same time, we have 68% of our population are diverse from different backgrounds, and a third of us are immigrants. So this is all actually contributing to the economy in a completely different way, because when you have international superstars that are coming to play, you automatically can bring this economic driver into this entire region.
You were talking about, bringing in visitors from different countries to these games. Dodgers stadiums, they're always like full. And there's also two football teams. Could you tell us about which team has the highest attendance
Yeah.
in Los Angeles?
Well, the Rams right now, on average, is about 73,000 attendees per game. Capacity is actually at 70. So they're over capacity in most of their games. That's the attention that they're driving. That's the fan base that they have. That's the awareness that they're driving. So to have not only one professional football team, but two, is definitely a blessing of riches that's happening in this entire region. However, with the Rams in particular, they've also done a lot when it comes to community engagement to make sure that they have that fan base. So this is one of the things that we would like to say, is that we can't take our fans for granted. We can't take that engagement for granted. You have to invest in it. And so this becomes a huge marketing opportunity. This becomes a huge business opportunity for the sports team to interact with new sports tech or entrepreneurs to basically figure out how do you actually engage with fans, not only locally, internationally as well, and also nationally as well, because we can bring a lot of investors into this entire region.
I like what you said about technology and looking forward with this and the sports and how important it is to, find what's important about technology, what you can do with it as well.
Well, a lot of folks, when they think of sports, they only think of the players themselves and basically maybe the games themselves, but they don't think of everything that has to be connected in order for us to actually have these kind of major events. When you have 73,000 people going to the SoFi Stadium, that's going to be a lot of moving parts. And a lot of it has to do with technology, because you have to do crowd control management. We're at the Intuit Dome right now. And for those who are not aware, they have actually instituted new technology, facial recognition, as a way to basically process payment. You pay with your face now. You don't pay with your phone. You don't pay with your credit card. So that's amazing that we're now able to move this technology moving forward. The question also is, what about data security? What about cybersecurity? That becomes another line of work and products that can be developed in partnership with the Intuit Dome, so that we can actually track the movement of folks, and how do you advertise to them? How do you basically also do crowd control? So these are all new things that will be coming through because of technology married with the sports sector.
I really like also the passion that you have for data, coming from an economist. I see you were talking about the narrative, the story behind it, and we're going to get a lot of data for all of these mega events. Being in the academic world, I've seen a lot of emphasis in sports degrees, sports emphasis in education. And you pointed out something important about how we need to train the future generation for all of the opportunities that are going to be around, especially in Los Angeles.
Well, already, because Los Angeles region, we have so many different higher education institutions located here, from the universities to the Cal-State universities to the community colleges. Combined together, you actually have a lot of talent development pipeline systems that are already available. However, in order for them to be successful, they have to be connected with the industry so that we know what industry needs are, so that when you're actually developing your curriculum, it matches the need of the industry. Industry is changing so quickly. We're just talking about the changing of the technologies, right? With facial recognition. That wasn't a thing 5 years ago. And now it's moving forward very quickly. Who knows what's going to happen in the next 2.5 years before the Olympic Games? What new technology? Looking back just a couple of Olympics ago, whether it's Beijing, whether it's London, they didn't have Facebook or Instagram and all these different things that were happening so quickly back then. And so now it's complete change. So if you don't get ready for that change, we're going to miss the boat. And so I think that's why the education and academic institutions are so important, to make sure that we're able to identify the pathways that's going to be available, but also train our next generation of leaders to actually not look at the industry from a very narrow perspective. Is that this sector in particular crosses over so many different career pathways that if they're open to that, the next generation of our workforce will have enormous opportunities.
Thank you for that insight, and
Yeah.
it'll be helpful for, all of the students that I teach as well. I want to ask you, you were talking about what excites you for the future of LA, especially in this sports capital,
Mm.
next few years.
I think what's exciting for me in particular is that this is our time, a very, very rare opportunity if we get this right. This is our time to shine on the global stage. I think we see ourselves sometimes as a global player, but most Angelinos, we just see ourselves as a small town. We don't own the fact that the world is looking to us for innovation. They're looking for us to us for leadership. Other regions, Tokyo, London, New York, they own it. They feel that that's part of their identity. I'm excited that we get this opportunity to really now own that new identity as a global player, that whatever happens here in Los Angeles can actually influence the rest of the world, whether it's sports technology, whether it's different type of innovation. So again, we can't take it for granted. It's just going to come to us. We have to basically get it right. And going back to what you're saying before, I'm excited about the data because the data gives you an ability to basically create very solid narratives that's based on truth and fact. And when you have that, and you combine it with this powerful narrative that we have here in Los Angeles, this is attractive to the rest of the world. That's how the entertainment sector did so well in Los Angeles, is because we know how to basically tell our story. However, we've been telling everybody's story for the last 50, 60 years. It's time for us to really focus on telling our story for the next few years.
Yeah, that's exciting to think about as well, and what the future holds
Yeah.
in Los Angeles. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.